Hey boys and girls, welcome back to yet another video, and today with me I have Sean from Blue Tech Mobile Detailing. Sean, do you have any idea why we are crouching down next to this wheel of this Mercedes-Benz?
We're going to doing some wheel cleaning?
Kind of, but not really. What I wanted to address today is a very common problem, and that has to do with the world of refurbishing cars in the resale market, which meaning you buying a used car. Now there's this thing called Carfax, and I've had many situations like this where people will say, oh, I have a Carfax report, no damages, no accidents, nothing like that. The problem is like any other system, there's always a workaround. There's always ways to manipulate the system. What does this possibly have to do with a car wheel? Well, that's where I wanted to show you, because when it comes to car wheel cleaning, you may be disturbed because you think that you've chosen the right car wheel cleaner. There's this endless debate between, for example, acid-based wheel cleaners versus non-acid. What's safer to use, what's safe, what's not safe. So there's so many variables. Never mind the endless variables that no car is created equal. No wheel is created equal. So I wanted to bring you in and show you exactly, in the event that you run into this in your world, because this is my wife's car. We bought this used. It had approximately 22,000 miles on it. It's a 2013. Even though I scrutinized it very closely, it's impossible to catch everything, and sometimes problems don't show up until after the fact, which is the case on this car. So I wanted to bring you in case you come across this and explain what the heck is going on. And here we have our wheel. I have pre-cleaned this wheel. I'm going to show you, and by the way, what I'm using just is a in-the-moment wheel cleaner, which is not a dedicated wheel cleaner. It's just a citrus safe touch all-purpose cleaner put out by a company called Wicked. I know the owners. This is just a random moment. So I've already pre-cleaned this for a very specific reason. I'm going to show you as I pre-clean this. And this is not an invitation for all you keyboard jockeys to come out and say, oh wow, he sprayed that cleaner right on the wheel and now he's just rubbing that brake dust right into the wheel. It's going to scratch the crap out of it. That's not an invitation. What I want to show is highlight that this is a stock wheel. All indicators suggest that this has never been retouched, repainted, repaired, because that's what I'm getting at. Because the next wheel I'm about to show you, most of you will be disturbed by. Now me, as a car owner and as a professional detailer, I love a stock. This is what's called an original equipment. Most wheels are finished in a silver finish like this. So they paint the wheel silver and then they clear coat it. And by clear coat, I mean literally the same type of clear coat that's on your car paint. It may not be the exact formulation, but it is nonetheless a clear coating, which is the good news. It makes it easier to maintain. It also means the wheel finish will last longer. So how I like it is I like the wheel barrels all detailed out. Obviously, that's not going on here on my wife's car because, well, that's her world and she has to take care of her own car. I like the inside of the wheel barrel all cleaned. So what happens is when wheels get damaged, they will call in an outside vendor who comes in, they grind it down, they sand it, or what happens is the dealer that is responsible for reselling this car or wants to resell this car, whether it's going to go through auction or end up on a dealer lot, if the wheel has been chewed up, curb shots, curb rash, call it whatever you want, what they will do is on the spot, they will grind it down. They will literally do body work. That would be a simple explanation. They literally do body work on the wheel. They grind it down. They fill it with fillers if they need to. They prime it. They paint it. They clear coat it. It's good to go. But to keep it simple and to keep it cheap, they do it while the wheel is still mounted onto the car and the tire is still mounted on the wheel. That means that they're going to have to tape off the tire so they don't get overspray on it. They're going to tape off the lug nuts so they don't get overspray on that. But they don't tape off the inside of the wheel, and they just allow the overspray to shoot into the wheel barrel. just like they'll allow the overspray to shoot inside the lug nut, which they want to a degree, but it's not going to be precision work. This, because I've just cleaned this and I see no overspray, I feel no overspray, this finish is identical to that finish. That tells me, or at least strongly suggests, that this wheel has never been touched. It's original equipment. It remains intact, because what I'm about to show you is the difference. And here, ladies and gentlemen, we have wheel number 2. Now, I don't know exactly from that distance what's going to capture, but this wheel I know has been repaired. It's been repainted. I don't know what happened to the wheel. I don't know why they had to do it. I just know that they did it. So maybe from that distance, this just looks like a dirty wheel or a semi-dirty wheel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean sections of it like I did that first wheel. And I'm going to go inside here and clean inside the wheel barrel so you can see exactly what I'm talking about before I pull you in for a up close and personal look. Now we are up close and personal. Once again, I have no idea what's going to show up. Hopefully it will capture it. You see this uneven appearance? You see inside this wheel barrel? It did not come clean. I can feel, and this is not just brake residue that's left over that I have not cleaned off, because the brake residue, or the brake dust specifically, cleaned off very easily. But here I have some overspray, and what happens with the overspray is it creates a very rough feeling, a texture. Dirt is able to cling to it better. It's very difficult to clean. But here we have an uneven appearance, and what's happening is the paint that the guy used. Now, whether this is true clear coat or paint, it's hard to know. I'm going to say it's paint, in that the guy didn't actually clear coat it when he was done. What he did is he just painted the whole wheel so it would match. So for example, and this is probably showing up as I'm scraping it off, because you see the dust that's collecting here. This is colored. So that tells me that what the guy did is, instead of going through the different steps of painting it and then clear coating it, all he did is he made the repair. So let's say it had a big curb shot right along here. They grind it down, and sometimes it can be just ground down so that it's nice and smooth, and they call it quits because it wasn't so deep that they actually have to fill it. I don't know exactly where the damage originated from as to why they need to paint this wheel. I just know that they had to paint this wheel because this is not normal. So if this was on your car and now you're cleaning your wheel and you don't understand this concept because the dealer claimed like, oh, this car is perfect, it's never been damaged, it's like a brand new car, just only has slightly used, it's only got 12,000 miles or whatever dealers say to sell you the car. The reality is the dealer probably doesn't know himself. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. And by he, generally it's the salesman. So here I am scraping off this paint that the guy used. So somewhere on this wheel it was damaged enough where the dealer said, hey, this needs to be touched up, repainted. So what they do is they repair the specific spot, but because they can't color match exactly, there's no way they can just spray an area that they fixed and have it look identical to the whole wheel. So what they do is they fix the damaged area, they sand down the rest of the area, and then they spray paint, literally spray paint, whether it's a rattle can or an airless sprayer, whatever, a compressed air, like a traditional spray gun except smaller. There's many ways they can do that, but the point is they're not going to dismount the wheel so that they have access to inside the lug nuts, inside the wheel barrels, because now you've got the wheel weights that balance the wheel. So that would take a job that could be this small, dramatically increase it to something that's way much more time consuming and expensive, Doing it this way, they can do it right on location, and it's just really a Band-Aid effect. It's really just to get the car sold, get it into your hands, and then down the road, and most people aren't even going to pay attention to this because most people don't have a highly developed critical eye for this kind of stuff. But if you have the rude awakening where this is your car and now you're seeing this and you don't understand what's going on, you may then question the wheel cleaner that you're using. It's like, oh my gosh, I think I've used the wrong wheel cleaner. I think I've just damaged my wheels because now they're peeling. When in fact, what happened is the dealer, or somewhere along that process between the original owner and him getting rid of that car through a dealer, decided to call out a mobile guy, have it repaired, repainted, crappy work, now it's peeling, and now we get to endure this wheel for the life of the car until we decide to replace it or have it professionally done. So the professional way that you would do this, if you wanted to refinish this wheel, is they would dismount it from the car, dismount the tire, and sand down, grind down, everything, remove the balance weights. Everything would get, it would literally be like repainting a panel on your car. That would be the professional way, but it's far more time consuming and expensive to do it the right way, like anything else in life. So this is one of the hacks that dealers will do in order to get cars sold. Not only will they do this with wheels, they'll do it with the panels. I just did an emblem removal for a guy that had a truck. He insisted, or he told me, he goes, oh yeah, it's super clean. I got it from a dealer. I saw the Carfax report. It said it had no accidents on it. And I had to tell him, it's like, hey, by the way, this whole rear panel of your truck has been repainted, and I can show you how I know that. And he's like, well, wow, it didn't show up on the Carfax. It's like, well, because Carfax is just an entry point. It's just one of the ways that you can begin to try to verify the history of a car, but there's no guarantee, because I guarantee it's kind of like laws. Why do bad guys always figure out ways to go around the law? Well, that's just what they do. So there's always workarounds. I just want to highlight this moment for you in the event of that this is your situation and now you're questioning your cleaner and you're coming to the wrong conclusion, which is like, oh my gosh, I've used the wrong cleaner. When in fact, you haven't used the wrong cleaner, you just don't understand the nature of the beast. So I'm here trying to illustrate the nature of one of the many beasts when it comes to cars, particularly buying used cars. So with that said, I hope you have learned a little something along the way, and we will see you on the next video.